host, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items, there are bananas everywhere. I mean, it's like you're losing your balloons because you're slipping on bananas left and right. Bananas everywhere. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube and XO and Facebook. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella. I got you for the next 20 or 25 minutes or so. Reminder that you can get the show wherever you want. YouTube, X, and Facebook. All we ask is that you just share it with a friend and comment if you have some thoughts, because you can comment live and we can read it on the show. The social media handle, The Rome Show 1. That would be Instagram, X, Facebook, and TikTok. That's The Rome Show. Then the number 1. It sits in the bottom left hand of your corner as the show goes on. We're going to talk some NCAA sports today, ladies and gentlemen, because the Women's College World Series, also known as the College World Series for softball, starts today between not Oklahoma University and other. There will be no 5-peat in softball at the college level this season, but 2 Texas teams are in the final. You'll see how one of them made it if you stick with us here in a little bit. We will talk regional baseball, as all of the super regionals have now been decided in the NCAA. We do not have Rocky on the show this Tuesday. He will be joining us this Wednesday. So we will be discussing hockey not today. We will be discussing hockey tomorrow with our guy Rocky. Got some news from the National Football League that I think is worthy of discussing, because I think it is an indictment on the game of football. I truly do believe that. And then daily bananas, which we haven't done a lot of over the last month or so, but we will start to trend back to. So stay with us the entire time. And hey, I guess enjoy the show. For those that don't know, the regionals just finished yesterday in NCAA baseball, okay? So the Division I tournament is currently going on. On Friday, I made this topic one of my what you watching, and there's multiple reasons why, and none of them have anything to do with the fact that I coach college baseball. It really is just the fact that the simplest reason is it is electric, right? The environment at these regionals, at these Division I college baseball games, now soon to be at the super regionals starting in a few days, is some of the most fun, entertaining baseball that you're going to see. Like, there's no baseball atmosphere like the college baseball atmosphere that you're going to see in the ACC, the SEC, at Coastal Carolina, out in Cali with some of those schools. And because there isn't a national broadcasting brand of college baseball throughout the year, yes, if you have the ESPN app, you can watch so many Division I baseball games. But that's not a commonplace. You don't just turn the ESPN app on and it says, all right, let's watch Coastal Carolina versus University of Texas San Antonio. And then let's check out Columbia versus Princeton. That doesn't just pop up on your main screen. You got to scroll, click the NCAA baseball icon, have the paid subscription enough to get those ESPN app games. So you can, but it's not commonplace. You can, but it's not like the NCAA tournament in college basketball, where you can go on to any major network at that time, especially for the first 2 rounds, and it doesn't matter who you are. You can flip the channels on your TV. You can stream apps, and you can get an NCAA college basketball game. You cannot get that in NCAA baseball. Now, you can have ESPN, ESPN2, and you watch some of these regionals, okay, without a doubt. But throughout the regular season, you're not scrolling through your regular channels and watching college baseball. So right now is your time to get acclimated with the sport at its best form. Okay. And often, I think the talent level at the professional level is obviously the greatest, which is why any pro league, NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, is going to be the best in their sport. But the most entertaining, oftentimes, that comes from the college level. How many times you heard somebody say, I would so much rather watch college basketball than professional basketball? Oh, they play defense. They're committed to whatever, terminologies they want to use. How many people in this country love college football over professional football? I would say especially over the last 10 years where there's been a lot, I don't know if you call it controversy, but whatever the case is, people get annoyed with the NFL. People love college football. College football is so many people's favorite sport. It's wild to think. Okay? So do yourself a favor and watch some of this super regional coming up. If you miss the regional, fine. You're going to get an atmosphere of baseball that where you sitting on your couch is going to say, this looks fun. I want to be involved in this brand of baseball. This atmosphere, the energy, it's awesome. Okay? And right now is the time to do that. So here are the teams that are left. All right? And no, the top 2 national seeds are not left. This is only the second time since 1999 that the number 1 ranked team going into the tournament and the number 2 ranked team nationally going into the tournament have been eliminated at the regional stage. The last time that happened was in 2014. So a rarity. Okay. And for those that might not fully know, here's how college baseball works. Okay. 4 teams are put into a regional. All right. There are 8 regionals on each side of the bracket. So 16 total regional sites in their 4 group pods. Okay. You must win your regional and you then face off against the winner of another regional in what they call the super regional, which will start this week. Okay. The regional is a double elimination tournament between the 4 teams. The super regional is a best 2 out of 3 series against that singular team played at the site of the highest seed. Okay, that is the host site of that super regional. So remaining, you have Louisville versus Miami in one super regional, Oregon State versus Florida State, North Carolina versus Arizona, Auburn versus Coastal Carolina, UCLA versus University of Texas at San Antonio, Duke versus Murray State. Those are the 2, UTSA and Murray State, the 2 teams that are, I'm sure you can tell, not like the others or mid-major as the verbiage generally goes. So good for those 2 programs. LSU versus West Virginia, and Arkansas versus Tennessee. And it's funny, okay, because no matter what sport you're talking about, and in college basketball, they call them the blue bloods, all right? But no matter what sport you're talking about, the best programs in the country are going to rise to the top, okay? And it's funny when if I was to start this show and say to you, hey, here's the deal. I'm going to list off the teams that made the postseason in an NCAA sport, okay? Let me know what sport this is. I think you'd have a really hard time figuring out which sport this is because the best programs have the best resources, can get the best players, no matter the sport, and therefore, every time an NCAA tournament is set, you're going to see a lot of the same names. For any ADs out there listening, associate ADs out there listening, or if there's anyone out there listening that has a hand in collegiate athletics or can have a hand in affecting collegiate athletics, that should go to show you how important they are to schools. Yeah, of course, Tennessee makes millions upon millions upon millions, and low-level schools don't. But the model is still the same. College athletics are huge for colleges and universities. It's actually, and maybe you could consider this a hot take, and I haven't even used my hot take button in so long, so I don't even know if I would be able to find it. But you might consider this a hot take. Okay?
Ooh.
Got it. Hot take. I think that the reason why universities and college thrive, have the reputations that they have in a lot, not all, but in a lot of school scenarios, is just because of athletics. Yeah. You're going to hear about Harvard academically or any school in the Ivy League. Makes sense. It makes sense. Their standard has been set that the academics there are why you're going there. Okay. But everywhere else, take Division I sports, for example, the ACC, the SEC. I mean, honestly, the growth, I believe, of universities and colleges over the course of the history of our country is because of sports. Everyone always wanted education, but did they? Because our world goes through this up and down of go to college, don't go to college, go to college, don't go to college, trade jobs, no trade jobs. What makes money? Entrepreneurship? No, this doesn't make money. Don't do entrepreneurship. To me, with a person that's sitting here with 2 college degrees, I don't know if that has to be the best decision for every single person. Okay. But that's not the argument I'm about to get into right now. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is the importance of athletics to universities and colleges, their brand, and how much their brand is known outside of their walls, outside of their campus. And look no further than every time an NCAA sports tournament is released, every time a champion hits, you watch the ESPN videos, the Sports Center. Wow, look at this team. Look at that team. I mean, it is the driver. So anyone out there that wants to argue with me on that one, I would love to go toe to toe. I would love to discuss how people think that sports arguably isn't some of the most important stuff that goes on. It is. Just look at what it does for these universities. I mean, there are people paying millions of dollars to 18-year-olds so that the university that they like can win more football games. Like, think about that. And there are people doing that academically too. So we're not going to spend the rest of the show on this, but I was thinking about that as I was prepping this show yesterday. I said to myself, this is wild. And people don't value coaches. They don't value athletics. People to this day still use well, they're a student first. Stop. These people, this is their job. Every single person that's left in this baseball tournament right now is treating this like their job. They've been treating it like their job the entire time. Okay? It's no longer student athlete. It is athlete. That's it. And those athletes are the reason that people even know that University of Texas San Antonio is even a school. Raise your hand if you knew Murray State existed outside of their programs in sports. Seriously. Coastal Carolina is a beautiful school. You don't know about it because of its academics. You know about it because of its teal football field. They won a baseball national championship a bunch of years ago, and it was a really fun story. And their campus is beautiful. And I'm sure their academics are great too. And again, if you just tuned into this rant or you missed some of this rant, this is not a rant about how academics is not smart and sports are more important. This merely is just a rant on the importance of athletics to universities and colleges. It cannot be understated how important a thriving athletic department is for universities and colleges. Having an athletic department that thrives, that has a legit reputation, especially at the Division I level, is huge. I would argue that the first instance a person in their life gets, the first knowledge they get on a university or a college is their athletics programs, is hearing about one of their programs, especially if they have a football or a basketball program. So make sure you spend some time over the next week or two watching collegiate baseball, because I think, and again, take my baseball coaching bias out of it, just the pure college entertainment of the sport, it's as entertaining as the basketball. It's as entertaining as the football. The atmospheres are as electric. Tune in, because it's a lot of fun. The Rome Show, 12OZ Sports, broadcasting live on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Rocky Romanella writes in, athletes equal tuition payment, fans equal revenue, and sports equal money. That's exactly right, Mr. Rocky Romanella, whichever one of the two you are.
Are you thinking, I can't handle this too, Rocky Romanella?
And that's the facts. And by the way, before we go to commercial break, for the 700 schools that are Division II or Division III, that doesn't mean, though, that this doesn't matter for your institution. Okay? It matters just as much. The scales just change. You might not be making as much, if not revenue straight up from the actual sport, but it brings a reputation to your school. It brings a liveliness to your campus. If done right, that matters. And I don't care what level school you're going to go walk around, you're finding out about the sports programs. You're hearing about what sports exist at that school. Okay. And the Rome Show, by the way, we exist on 12ouncesports.com. And I hope that all of you are locked in on this masterclass on radio. When we get back, actually, you know what? No, let's do this first. Check this out. Texas Tech walks off on the 4-time defending champion Oklahoma Sooners to head to the College World Series for the first time in their program's history and end the potential of a 5-peat for Oklahoma. What a walk-off. Here it is. And there you go. Oklahoma's 5-peat chance ends. And now you have a Texas versus Texas Tech final in the College World Series best of 3 series. They're starting tonight. Tune in, because much of like what we just talked about with the baseball, if you've never watched college softball, especially college softball during the regionals and the super regionals, and the World Series, you're missing out. Seriously, you're missing out. Again, talk about electric, fun, entertaining environments. This is it right here. Okay, so tune into ESPN or ESPN2 and check it out, because I think you're going to become a fan of a sport in a different way. And if we could find a way to get the professional side of baseball to operate like the college side of baseball, that'd be electric. Okay, and by the way, Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball just signed a deal with Major League Baseball, so hopefully that's trending in the right direction as well. Only good things when you're committed to athletics. When we come back, a 29-year-old center retires from the National Football League after 3 straight Pro Bowls, and his team made the NFC Championship game. That's plus your daily bananas here on the Rome Show. 12OZ Sports, back after this.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12-Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Yeah, the Rome Show. 12ouncesports.com. I was just pulling up a video of Kevin O'Sullivan, head coach at University of Florida, absolutely eviscerating an associate athletic director from Coastal Carolina. Unnecessarily, by the way. And the Coastal Carolina head coach had something to say about it. I wanted to read this real quick because I thought, play it really quickly because I thought what the Coastal head coach had to say was really awesome. It's only a minute here, but terrible actions out of the head coach out of Florida, and this is what Coastal's head coach had to say. Great message to the people, by the way.
And I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I believe in standing up for what's right. And what transpired this morning on our field, another coach disrespected our associate AD, who works as hard as anybody in our entire program. He disrespected our field crew, who are the salt of the earth. These guys would do anything for our program. It's not okay. And this needs to be brought up. Absolutely disrespectful. As a coach, it's our job to mentor young kids. And the way he treated the 2 site reps, the way he treated our associate AD, the way he treated our field crew is absolutely unacceptable. And I'm really, that's what, one last thing I have is
love it, coach. Respect it, coach. Defending the people that work for you. I could talk about college athletics, and we will. Follow the Romanellas on YouTube. I'm going to start talking to my fiance about some stuff as well. But my point in this is people don't realize what goes into college athletics. No. No one has any idea. Like, unless you're in it, you have no clue what it takes to run an athletic department. The intricacies, the ins and outs, the hours, the way that things work, the demands, what people expect out of you. It's ridiculous. Okay. And so for a national champion head coach and Kevin O'Sullivan to absolutely disrespect the staff at Coastal Carolina the way he did over some game time, or he didn't like the rain. I don't know what the hell he was complaining about, but it's unacceptable. It's not okay. And I hope that something's done about this, because, by the way, if we act this way, we're getting eviscerated at the lower levels. We might not have a job anymore. We're seriously probably don't have a job anymore. Okay. So it's just not the way to handle things. I thought our coach had something really great to say there on the microphone. I wanted to share it. Finally, in the National Football League, wild situation here coming out of Detroit, but 29-year-old Lions center Frank Ragnow has decided to retire from the game of football. This is what he had to say. These past couple of months have been very trying, as I've come to the realization that my football journey is ending and I am officially retiring from the NFL. I've tried to convince myself that I'm feeling good, but I'm not, and it's time to prioritize my health and my family's future. I have given this team everything I have, and I thought I had more to give, but the reality is I simply don't. I have to listen to my body, and this has been one of the hardest decisions of my life. The Lions organization has been absolutely incredible throughout the process, and I can't emphasize this enough, how grateful I am for this team and all the fans. It is an absolute honor going to battle for you. Frank Ragnow, 3-time Pro Bowler for the Lions, 3-time second team All-Pro in the National Football League, as well, has been dealing with some real serious injuries over the course of his career, especially a really, really bad toe injury. And I think in simple form, this is exactly the issue with football. This is the problem with how dangerous the game of football is. And you've seen over the last 10 years, so many more guys hang their cleats up at what people would consider the quote unquote prime of their career because they care more about their long-term health than just what they're able to accomplish in the game of football. Good luck to Frank Ragnow in the next ventures of his career. Good luck to the people if they're planning on playing the bananas with me. Let's rock.
Ba, 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 banana.
93 and 75 during the 2025 season. It's been not a lot of picks over the last month or two. I'm sorry about that. That's okay, though, because we're trending, and hopefully we're trending in the right direction. The last time we made picks, we were 2-1. I had like SGA over 25. I had Carolina and Florida going over 5.5, and I had something else there that lost. So today, we're going to go to Major League Baseball. That is correct. Starting with the terrible Colorado Rockies. They are 10-50. However, they won last night, and they beat the Marlins 6-4. Only one time all year have the Colorado Rockies had a 2-game winning streak, and that was on April 30th to May 1st. However, if there's a team to do it against, it's the Miami Marlins, who are 23-35 and 4-6 in their last 10. So I'm going to go on a limb here, and I'm going to take the Rockies on the money line tonight in Major League Baseball. If you were wondering, okay, because I think this matters to these picks. Tanner Gordon's on the mound for the Rockies today. He's at a 4.2 ERA with a 1.35 whip and a 1.2 record. So not terrible, okay, against Sandy Alcantara for Miami, who's been atrocious this year. 8.74 ERA, 2-7 on the win-loss column. Then finally, I'm staying in Major League Baseball. We got the Cubbies, who are 17-11 on the road, and they are leading the Central Division right now at a 37-22 clip, 8-2 in their last 10. They take on the Nationals, who are at home, but they're under 500 at home at 13-14, and they are an okay 500 baseball team. So I'll take the Cubs at the -1.5. So my two picks today for the people, just so we're on the same page, I got the Rockies on the money line. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Give me the second 2-game winning streak of the year for the Colorado Rockies and their 11th victory. And then I got the Cubbies -1.5 over the Washington Nationals. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to do it here for the Rome Show on 12 Ounce Sports. Hope you had a good time here on a Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Rocky Romanello will join us to talk National Hockey League and so much more. Follow the social media, The Rome Show 1, wherever you get your social media. And until tomorrow, Andrew Romanello saying, have an electric day and peace.
Thank you for listening.